911.
Yes, ma'am. I think we've had some trouble at 4456 Marshall Road.
What's going on Marshall Road?
I think there's been a bad shooting. The guy walked out of the house. I'm quite sure I've seen him from a distance. It looked like a black guy.
A former NFL player and college football standout brutally murders 6 people, including 2 children, before turning the gun on himself and ending his own life. What was going on inside Phillip Adams' head to push him to commit such heinous crimes? Were there any red flags that his family or friends saw that could have prevented this tragedy from happening? Hello there, and if you're here for the first time, please subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell beside it, so you get notifications whenever I upload new content. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. In today's video, we'll be talking about the case of Phillip Adams, which I think many of you will find both sad and concerning. His actions, although terrible and completely unacceptable, may have been tied to a condition that wasn't 100% within his control. Phillip Adams was born in Rock Hill, South Carolina on July 20th, 1988. He attended Rock Hill High School, where he excelled in both football and basketball, showing promise in both sports. As time went on, he gravitated towards football more, and decided to make that his main focus, giving basketball up for the most part. After graduating from high school, Phillip attended South Carolina State University from 2006 through 2009. During his freshman year, he didn't see the field as much as he would have liked, but he got out there any chance he could. As a substitute player and a headhunter on special teams, his coaches saw potential in him and believed with more practice he could make a significant impact. That year, he brought in 12 tackles, 2 interceptions, and helped the team with a 30-yard punt return as well. Next year, as a sophomore, he played in 11 games, filling in where he could and trying to create a name for himself on the team. The following year, as a junior, is when he really started to shine and spread his wings as a force to be reckoned with on the field. On defense, he was ranked 6th on his team, bringing in 48 tackles and 5 interceptions, which led the team. Based on what his coaches have said, he was a completely different player by his senior year than he was as a freshman. He put in the work to become stronger and faster, and was no longer a substitute trying to find his way. At this point, he was a first-team All-Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference player who was known for being a ball hawk that could recognize plays and put an end to them quickly. He did this many times by displaying he could lay down hard hits and anticipate routes to break them up before they could even get going. These attributes, along with his play at South Carolina State, got him quite a bit of recognition from NFL scouts, and many of his peers and coaches thought he had a great chance of taking his talents to the professional league, if he could keep his work ethic up and not have external influences deter him from reaching his goal. Adams was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers in the 7th round of the 2010 NFL Draft, but ended up breaking his ankle, which caused him to be sidelined for a significant portion of the season. Being that he didn't have much on field time as a rookie before he suffered the season-ending injury, he was ultimately waived by the 49ers and signed with the New England Patriots the following year. Adams' professional career lasted right around 5 years, and he bounced around quite a bit while looking for a permanent team. He never really found a home, playing for the Oakland Raiders, Seattle Seahawks, New York Jets, and Atlanta Falcons before giving up on the league in 2015. Family and friends said that his career not going the way he anticipated had an impact on him that was apparent. He loved the game of football and wanted to play it at the highest level he could while making a significant impact. However, the business side of the game and all that came with it seemed to turn Phillip off. He just wanted to play. He did not want to be involved in all of the politics, and being bounced from team to team without a real chance to show his skills left a sour taste in his mouth about the league in general. 6 years after his departure from the league, Adams shot and killed 6 people on April 7, 2021. Robert Leslie, who was 70, a local physician, his wife Barbara, 69, and their 2 grandchildren, Ada, who was 9, and Noah, who was 5, were the related victims at the scene. He also shot and killed 38-year-old James Lewis and 38-year-old Robert Shook, who were simply at the residence completing HVAC repairs at the time of the tragedy. The following day, on April 8, 2021, after police determined Adams was a person of interest in their investigation of the murders, they were able to track him down at the home where he and his mother lived. When they arrived, they attempted to get Adams to surrender, but he did not comply. There was a standoff for several minutes, with Adams refusing to respond to the police, who communicated with him outside via a loudspeaker. Ultimately, he turned the gun on himself and committed suicide. But he did not harm his mother during the process.
He used to be my doctor a long time ago, and I know they were good folks down there. I don't know what happened, and we're gonna keep him in our prayer. He's a good kid. He was a good kid, and I think the football messed him up. He didn't talk much, and he didn't bother nobody. Y'all keep us in your prayers.
As for the victims, Lewis and Shook, the AC technicians were both fathers to 3 children. Lewis was a single father, and Shook was a husband for almost 2 decades. Both were spoken of highly by their colleagues and were sadly at the wrong place at the wrong time when Adams arrived. There were 2 men at work making repairs at the residence and ended up not making it home to their families due to no fault of their own. Based on available accounts, these workers had no prior relationships with Adams before he took their lives that day. The Leslies were said to be a devout family who attended the First Association of Reformed Presbyterian Church, or ARP. Barbara was known as Mrs. B, and she was enthusiastic about what she taught about the Bible. She sang in her church and performed skits with her longtime friend, U.S. Representative Ralph Norman's wife. Her grandchildren shared her passion for worship and singing. Robert was reportedly one of the physicians who Adams sought treatment from throughout the years and a well-known doctor in the area. Not only was he a highly respected physician, but he was also known for mentoring others and participating in community events through their local church. When asked, Phillip Adams' girlfriend described their relationship, which lasted a decade, from which he was a college freshman through the final season of his NFL career. She stated that they had disputes, but that they were never violent. "He never threatened me. He never made me feel uneasy," she said. Phillip, she added, had a thing for guns and would always go to the shooting range and carry a gun with him. When the cops arrived at his house, they discovered more than 20 guns. So, as it seems, after Adams departed from the NFL in 2015, things started to go downhill. But there wasn't anything particularly troubling to cause extreme concern. In 2016, he was charged with carrying a concealed weapon in North Carolina, but besides that, it was said that he stayed close to home, helping his mother, a former high school teacher who became paralyzed as a result of a car accident. Adams' family told authorities that he was having difficulties sleeping due to the excruciating pains he was experiencing, along with other issues such as memory loss and lapse. This information, along with the nature of his crimes, caused investigators to take a deep look at what could have been going on with Phillip mentally. As a result, an extensive autopsy was completed that uncovered Adams died with high levels of amphetamines and kratom, which are known to be used to ease chronic discomfort. Following this, the Adams family agreed to have his brain examined for CTE at Boston University, which is a major CTE research facility and is considered credible in this area of research. CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy, is a degenerative brain disease prevalent in athletes, military veterans, and anybody who has a history of repetitive brain trauma, according to the Concussion Legacy Foundation website. When a protein called tau misfolds and malfunctions in the brain, it leads other proteins to misfold, triggering a chain reaction in which the defective tau slowly spreads throughout the brain, killing the cells. Many symptoms might be recognized being in the early 20s: aggression, mood swings, depression, anxiety, paranoia, and issues with impulse control. Cognitive symptoms typically occur later in life, between the ages of 40 and 50. Cognitive symptoms include short-term memory loss, confusion, impaired judgment, and dementia. Only during an autopsy report can CTE be determined, not when the person is alive due to the nature of the testing that is currently required. Currently, more than 315 former NFL players have been diagnosed with CTE posthumously. Junior Seau and Dave Durson, both previous NFL players, reportedly shot themselves because they wanted their brains to be used for CTE research. When their brains were tested, they discovered that both of them had CTE. Similarly, Phillip Adams was found to have had a severe case of CTE during his autopsy. With level 4 being the most severe case and associated with dementia, Adams was diagnosed with stage 2, which was very uncommon for someone of his age. Being that he began playing football so young and that it is estimated a player can increase their chances of developing CTE by up to 30% with every year they play, his family was not surprised to find out that he had the condition. In a statement from the family, they provided, "We cannot say that we're surprised by the results. However, it is shocking to hear how severe his condition was." After going through medical records from his football career, we do know that he was desperately seeking help from the NFL but was denied all claims due to his inability to remember things and to handle seemingly simple tasks, such as traveling hours away to see doctors and go through extensive evaluations, his family continued. Following the release of the autopsy report, York County Sheriff indicated that their investigation was nearing completion. They stated that the CTE diagnosis might not provide a convincing explanation for Phillip Adams' violent conduct. According to Sheriff Tolson, sometimes we get to know why, sometimes we don't. There's one individual that knows the why, and he's deceased. We may not know in this life, on this planet, what the why is. I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Do you believe that CTE was at play and contributed to Phillip murdering the 6 individuals, or do you think that there is more to the story? It is reported that the physician that Adams murdered was treating him, but allegedly stopped providing him with medicine, which triggered the murders. Over the years, the NFL has made different rule changes and attempted to structure the game to protect players from concussion and head trauma that lead to CTE. But do you think eliminating this is possible given the nature of the game? Or is the risk of CTE just a hazard that employees of the league sign up for by agreeing to play? If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Don't forget to like this video and share it with the people you know who may enjoy this content as well. It helps the channel grow and allows me to create this content for you in the future. Catch you in the next video.